Coming up on the final Newswatch of the semester, medical marijuana may soon grow in Iowa.
And the Iowa State Police Department is at Twitter famous after their 420 tweet went viral.
And I'll give you an inside look on all things Cyclone sports.
And the weather cooler today. We will have a couple more days of that, but there's a warm-up and clearing skies coming up in the forecast. We'll have all the details on that. Meantime, Newswatch starts now.
Thanks for watching and have a good rest of your night and week. Stay classy, Cyclones.
Good evening and welcome to this April 20th edition of Newswatch. I'm Coley Bergren.
And I'm Courtney. Thanks for joining us.
Medical marijuana may soon be grown in Iowa if the Senate and House come to a compromise. The Senate already passed an expansion plan for medical marijuana, but the House is against it. The bill in the Senate increases the number of conditions that would qualify a person for medical marijuana to 12. It would also allow for producers and retailers in the state. The House is expected to debate the issue Thursday evening.
The ISU Police Department is officially Twitter famous. In a munchie-filled tweet posted today, the Iowa State Police Department posted a tweet of two officers setting up a weed trap, saying, "You've heard of speed traps? We have weed traps." The tweet already has a whopping 11,000 retweets and more than 25,000 favorites. However, internet fame is not new to the men and women who patrol our campus. The ISU Police Department has had tweets and Facebook posts featured on BuzzFeed and other entertainment websites. Luckily for ISU students, our campus police officers are not only here to serve, but also to make us laugh as well.
The Board of Regents has compiled a 21-person list of the people on the Iowa State University Presidential Search and Screening Committee. The committee will find finalists for the board's consideration to become the next president of Iowa State University. The committee consists of 8 members of the Iowa State faculty and 2 students, as well as members from the ISU Alumni Association, the ISU Foundation, and the Ames community. The committee is scheduled to hold its first meeting in late May. The board expects to appoint the 16th Iowa State president in early October.
The 15th annual First Amendment Days is taking place through Friday. The First Amendment protects the rights and freedoms of speech and expression, ensures a free and open press, and keeps the government from establishing a religion, and finally, the freedom to petition against the government. First Amendment Days is a way to celebrate those rights and freedoms. Yesterday, the events began with depth and discussion, which were sessions to discuss certain topics pertaining to the First Amendment. Today, Glenn Smith will talk about the importance of individual journalists, while events will close tomorrow with faculty seminars explaining how staff members can teach the importance of the First Amendment.
In honor of First Amendment Day, Freedom Sings visited Ames Auditorium this past Wednesday. The Freedom Sings Band, consisting of Jonelle Moser, Joseph Wooten, Bill Lloyd, and Des Dickerson, performed a wide variety of songs that covered and highlighted eras throughout history. The show was written and narrated by Ken Paulson.
Texting while driving will become a primary offense in Iowa as of July 1st under legislation Governor Terry Branstad signed Monday. Phone usage was a previously secondary offense, which means that the officer would have to have another probable cause to pull a driver over. Now, officers can pull drivers over purely for phone usage. Under this law, officers can pull people over if they are suspected to be writing, sending, or viewing an electronic message, according to Senate File 234. This legislation allows for voice-operated hands-free mobile devices to be used to activate or deactivate the device.
Iowa State's International Food Fair was held this past Sunday. 14 multicultural groups filled the Memorial Union with yummy foods from around the world. The event was originally held with Visha, but Visha has since been canceled, now allowing the International Food Fair to be its own event. Coming up after the break, a terrorist attack in Paris leaves 1 police officer dead and another injured.
And a Tennessee teacher who kidnapped and fled with his 15-year-old student is in custody. Learn more after the break. This is Newswatch.
Welcome back from the break. According to reports on Thursday, another terrorist attack has been reported in Paris. Near the Champs Elysees, spectators watched as a gunman shot and killed 1 police officer and injured another before being killed himself. Authorities have blocked off the area and believe that there was only 1 suspect in the shooting. For most of the early Friday morning in Paris, authorities did not know who was behind the attack, but the terror group ISIS has now claimed responsibility. In a message released to the public, ISIS claims that their fighter is a Belgian national. France has been on high terrorist alert ever since the Paris attacks back in 2015 and 2016.
An outbreak of measles is spreading through Italy with more than 1,600 cases reported since the start of 2017 across 19 of the country's 21 regions. This outbreak is concerning to European health officials who have been monitoring an ongoing outbreak in Romania where almost 4,800 cases have been reported since 2016 and the country has seen 21 deaths. The United States Center for Disease Control and Prevention has now issued recommendations for anyone traveling to Italy to ensure they are vaccinated against measles. The Americas were reported measles-free in 2016. The prime victim of the disease are not those who have been vaccinated.
A Tennessee teacher who kidnapped and fled with his 15-year-old student has been arrested in California. The student, Elizabeth Thomas, was recovered safely after she was missing for more than a month, authorities said Thursday. The former high school teacher, 50-year-old Tad Cummins, is facing charges of aggravated kidnapping and sexual contact with a minor. The U.S. Attorney for the Middle District of Tennessee announced that his office also filed federal charges against Cummins for transportation of a minor across the lines for sexual purposes. That charge carries a minimum mandatory sentence of 10 years in prison.
If you're looking for a new pair of spunky socks, 17-year-old Brennan Argonoff is your guy. He is founder and CEO of Hoopswag, a custom sock startup. In 4 years, Argonoff has made his idea to make custom athletic socks into a profitable online-only business, with his annual sales reaching $1 million. Argonoff said his idea came from going to a high school basketball game and seeing all the players wearing all the same plain Nike socks. His company, Hoopswag, now offers more than 200 designs that Argonoff created himself. He hopes to eventually make a design-your-own socks feature to his brand.
In an almost ironic twist of events, the U.S. Department of Justice has decided to pursue charges against the WikiLeaks founder, Julian Assange, the man made famous for releasing classified documents concerning U.S. and international officials. Besides releasing his usual trove of information, Assange made headlines last year after he posted thousands of emails from Hillary Clinton's internet server onto the internet. His actions led to the investigation of the 2016 presidential candidate. Assange claims that WikiLeaks operated much like other major media outlets, such as the Washington Post and the New York Times, which routinely publish stories based on classified information. Assange's lawyer said that the Department of Justice has not contacted his client about pursuing any charges and has refused to inform two of Assange's statuses in the pending investigation.
Riots and violence erupted at Auburn University after alt-right nationalist Richard Spencer spoke at a rally on Thursday. The riots came as many college campuses are distinguishing the differences between hate speech and free speech. However, the commotion was not exclusive to the Auburn University student body. In February, riots erupted when the professional provocateur Milo Yiannopoulos attempted to speak at an event hosted by the University of California, Berkeley, and the same university has banned the controversial conservative speaker Ann Coulter from speaking at their campus. Due to events that ensued during the Yiannopoulos debacle, the UC Berkeley City safety concerns as their reason for canceling the event.
Artificially sweetened drinks, such as diet sodas, were tied to a higher risk of stroke and dementia, according to a study published in the American Heart Association's journal, Stroke. Though some experts say the findings should be interpreted carefully, as the researchers were unable to determine an actual cause and effect relationship between drinking artificially sweetened drinks and an increased risk for stroke and dementia. The study measured more than 4,000 adults over a 10-year time span. Researchers found that compared to those who have never drank artificially sweetened soft drinks, those who drank one a day were more likely by almost 3 times to have a stroke as well as diagnosed with dementia. That is not good news for me. I love my Diet Coke. Now we are joined at the desk by Zach Williamson. Zach, what is happening in the world of sports?
Well, coming up after the break, I'll be talking about some star Cyclone athletes. Stay tuned. You're watching Newswatch. Welcome back from the break. I'm Zach Williamson here with your Cyclone Sports Report. The Iowa State softball second baseman Sammy Williams is a finalist for the 2017 NFCA Division I Freshman of the Year. Williams has put together a pretty remarkable freshman season thus far, batting .349 while leading the team with 7 home runs, 16 doubles, and 27 RBIs. Her 16 doubles have tied the Iowa State single-season record and also lead all Division I freshmen. She is one of 25 finalists, and the list will be trimmed down to 10 Thursday, May 11th. Williams leads the Big 12 in total bases and looks to add on to that Friday in the first game of a 3-game series against the Texas Longhorns. Sammy Williams isn't the only Sammy standout for the Cyclones. Sammy Budai has done nothing but impress on the tennis courts. Budai is currently 2nd in doubles and overall career wins and 3rd in singles wins in Iowa State history. The senior has helped lead the Cyclones to back-to-back winning seasons for the first time since the 1974 and 75 seasons.
With 3 regular season duels and the Big 12 championships remaining on the schedule, the only Cyclone tennis player to ever be nationally ranked looks to keep moving up in the record books. Budai and the Cyclones will play again Friday against the Oklahoma Sooners. The Iowa State gymnastics team announced the signing of an Olympic athlete, Ariana Orrego-Martinez, Tuesday morning. Orrego-Martinez represented her original home country, Peru, in the 2016 Olympic Games, the first ever gymnast to qualify for the Olympics from Peru. The now Virginia Beach, Virginia native has won 8 state championship titles, including 3 on vault, 2 on bars, 1 on beam, and 2 in the all-around competition. This is a huge sign for the Cyclones and should add on to the success the Cyclones have already had this season. The Iowa State men's basketball team landed University of Virginia senior transfer Mariel Shyok just last night. The 6'6" guard will sit out next season due to transfer rules, but should be a key piece to the 2018-2019 basketball team. Shyok averaged 8 points a game and made 14 starts for the Cavaliers last season. His best game came in the Cavaliers' NCAA tournament first-round game against the UNC Wilmington Seahawks, where he scored 23 points and grabbed 3 rebounds. Shyok should be a perimeter threat and add length, athleticism, and experience to a young Cyclone basketball team. We always hear about what the Cyclone athletes do in their respective sports, but what about off of the playing field? Over 175 student athletes were recognized Monday night for their hard work and accomplishments in the classroom as well as in the community. The men's golf and women's cross-country teams had the highest team GPAs of all athletic teams, while the football, swimming and diving, and men's basketball teams earned Cyclone Serve Awards for total community service hours accumulated. Congratulations to all these student athletes for making Cyclone Nation proud both on and off the playing field. That is all I have for your Cyclone Sports Report. Zane, today was very windy. Can we expect warmer temperatures this weekend?
Yeah, Zach, it was very windy, a lot colder too as well. We were probably solid 20 degrees below normal out there. Our highs today, most of us were in the 50s, the 73 down in Ottumwa. That was actually at midnight last night. So it was actually pretty cold across most of Iowa. We will have a lot of clouds, pretty cool temperatures for a couple days at least, but the sun and the warmth will return. We'll time that out in the forecast coming up. Welcome back to Newswatch. If you were outside at all today, you probably noticed temperatures are a lot different than they were yesterday at this time. This is our 24-hour temperature change map. All right, when you see blue out there, usually not a good thing if you're into warm weather. 22 degrees below where we were at yesterday here in Ames, 25 degrees below yesterday down in Des Moines when those warm temperatures were with us ahead of those thunderstorms last night. Those have moved through and now it's a lot cooler and windier out there. 50 degrees in Ames right now. Winds pretty gusty out of the northwest at 17 miles per hour. Most of us are seeing this northwesterly flow out there, 15 miles an hour up in Waterloo, 17, like I said, here in Ames, and 15 miles per hour down in Des Moines. Because of that, this is seasonable weather out there, but it feels cold because of those winds. 50 degrees here in Ames, 45 up in Mason City, and then lower 50s down in the southern part of the state. Those clouds are also with us as well. They've been with us much of the day. And those are due to, there's a low pressure system that brought us all of that severe, well, some of us some severe weather, others just rain yesterday. It's off to the north here over Wisconsin, the UP of Michigan, and Lake Superior now. It's just a little bit of snow actually up there. Some severe weather has moved through Indiana and into Ohio now, but we're just seeing these clouds that are wrapping around the other side of this low pressure right now. Those will slowly move off as we get into tonight. This futurecast a little bit ahead of itself right here. Still, we'll see clouds right now, but those will slowly move off through the overnight hours. We'll eventually see some clearing. High pressure is going to set up as we get into tomorrow and most of the day tomorrow. There's actually another low pressure system off to the south and west coming out of the Rockies, but this high that's going to be overhead of us is going to block that pretty much from coming our direction. And then we'll stay pretty calm for most of tomorrow and into Saturday. So your weekend will be much more calmer, although still a little bit cool but for considering this time of year. Lows tonight, though, upper 30s for the most part, the northern part of the state, low 40s to the south. Our average low is about 40 degrees, so that's a little below normal, but not too bad. Tomorrow we'll get up to about 60 degrees pretty much everywhere, upper 50s around 60 for most of the state of Iowa. Tonight here in Ames, like I said, 38 degrees, so you don't really have to worry about the frost, really, but it'll still be pretty cold out there. Cool night. Gusty winds, though, northwest 10 to 15 miles an hour, maybe gusts of 20 to 25. Tomorrow, 60 degrees, very sunny, much different than today. That'll at least be a little bit better, but those winds will be at least a little bit lighter out of the northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Once we get through tomorrow, Saturday, not too bad, 61 degrees, sunny skies out there. Sunday, much better, 70, sunny out there. And then on Monday and Tuesday, a few more clouds, but still mid to upper 60s out there. And then more chances of rain come in as we get into the later part of the week, but still not too bad for mid to late April out there. Stay with us. We have much more Newswatch coming up right after the break.
Welcome back to Newswatch. The world-renowned tennis player Serena Williams and her fiancé, the co-founder of Reddit, Alex Ohanian, will be welcoming a baby soon. Williams, who just had won her 23rd Grand Slam championship game in January, posted the news on Snapchat on Wednesday. Williams was nearly 20 weeks pregnant when she played at the Australian Open and joins the list of women who have won titles and championship awards while expecting, according to her spokesperson. Williams will be on the maternity leave for the rest of the year.
It's almost like our television networks want us to stay on the couch all summer. Shows like Game of Thrones, Stranger Things, and House of Cards are just a few big names to return this summer. The streaming giant Netflix has pledged to spend $6 billion and add more than 1,000 hours of original programming in 2017, while HBO and other premium cable channels are preparing to bring back viewer favorites such as Insecure. They are even planning to premiere new stand-up specials featuring comedians like Michelle Wolf from The Daily Show with Trevor Noah.
If you thought that Ames, Iowa was the happiest city in the world, you may be surprised to find out there's another contender in the ring. A new study that uses a happiness meter has found the city of Dubai to be the happiest city on earth. Besides a more than comfortable GDP per capita of $67,000, the amazing city in the United Arab Emirates in Africa has worked to become the most technologically smart city in the world. The city has over 55 city services, such as trash collectors and bill pay systems, that residents can use operating an app called Dubai Now. Dubai boasts a high 90% on the happiness meter, but government officials want the city's happiness to reach 95% by 2021. Well, that's all we have for this April 20th edition of Newswatch.
Stay tuned next semester for more news, weather, and sports, and stay tuned later for the final episode of Ames Tonight.
Thanks for tuning in all year. Have a great night, Ames.